Well, Slight Monka S, we back. We back, boys.
Boys are back.
All right, but recap: Gibraltar resub tourney 1-1-0, full held. Now onto control for Lijiang Tower. Resub in blue, rip sub tourney in red. Everybody ready? Whoop. And let's go. I'm assuming still sticking with dive, perhaps. As
most likely,
does.
depending on the map that is chosen.
It's true. It may have maybe a Fair Mercy combo, which isn't terrible. Gardens. But we will see. So looking to choose with the troll picks. Boozy. Looking for that Bastion. Nope. He ain't gonna choose it. He won't do it.
Maybe he will. Who knows?
Surprise Bastion. We've had it sometimes.
They might pull a Valiant.
Maybe.
Looks like Whip Sub Tony is going to be doing a 280 standard dive comp here. And I keep forgetting the other team's name.
Resub Saturday. I wrote their team name down. A little post-it note. But even with some potential anti-dive, flashbangs, hooks, see if they can pull and stun their way to victory here, as they're going to come right into the center, start things off. High mobility is the name of the game. Stribby going in early. Hershey and the rest of the team is following up. Capitiano and Wheat's the only ones hanging in the back, and they're going to just hoe right through. 1, 2, 3. I'm expecting at least 5, maybe a 6th warrior going to just narrowly escape. Well, I thought he was going to try and escape, but he instead goes to his death. Give a little bit more ultimate charge to the team as, of course, Tracer, Hershey getting high up there, and they're not wasting any time. We're going to go back into it.
Shift falling immediately. That's not good. He was very, very out of position there. He probably should have just waited for his entire team to come back up with him. Hirsch not getting the stick, but still getting caught in the corner and dying to the pulse bomb there.
They're going to be quite aggressive here, pushing up into their spawn area. Hershey getting a little overzealous, but looks like they're going to have to pull back. Rip Sub Turning going to be going right into the center. Those statues waiting for Hershey to quickly come back, who just now respawned, and Hat switching over to Junkrat, trying to force his way in through these places, and with Deluxe. There he gets it with stick onto Wheats.
Bravo shift falling again to NYX, and flipping the map here, but they're still at a disadvantage in terms of members on their team. So it looks like this will immediately be flipped back over.
No. And Boozy just barely getting rocketed off by Rock there. He just pushes and tips him over the edge, and Deluxe will do the thing, jumps off the edge to get his respawn in. And Rock going in with an early self-destructing shift is just having the worst of times right now, getting just decimated. Well,
Day in the life of a Zen player.
Yeah, it's very true. Already we have Nyx going in the back line, just dashing through. I thought he maybe used his Dragon Blade, but he's in a bit of a sticky situation. He'll use it anyway. He'll do it. Why not? Into a sound barrier. At least calls it out. He won't get anything. The hook, not quite connecting the same hook 1.0 anymore, baby.
And Deluxe getting that pick onto NYX, so kind of a wasted Dragon Blade. Primal Rage being popped up by Stribby. Deluxe getting the stick on Wheats once again. So they are slowly but surely pushing in.
They're
Transcendence
so close
coming
to
in.
flipping that point. The Transcendence from Capitiano is just purely insurance to get that. And Rock coming in with a 2-piece himself before even throwing out that self-destruct warrior, just barely getting on point. And Transcendence last minute, but they're just gonna try body block him, but no, Shift does get on point. He'll get his moment to shine.
And I do not think anyone will be able to touch. Oh, Moira gets to touch.
But
oh, everyone's slowly trickling in.
The jump from Boozy maybe? Oh no. He's
Nope.
just Roadhog. A fat man can't run so fast. Not quite a total wipe of the floor, but still somewhat one-sided here.
Yeah, those constant early picks on Shift were really kind of throwing the game into the other team's favor. He was very, very out of position and probably should have just hung out in the back line, let the tanks push forward instead of him going in alone.
Yeah, it's playing that middle ground of the tanks and maybe a DPS, being aware of where your supports are and maybe lending a hand every now and then. But let's see how they can do coming in. They're going to go with a similar comp. Actually, Shift going over to Anna, looking for a little more defensive capabilities here. Going for the McCree Roadhog again. But we got a Doomfist actually from NYX and immediately deleted.
Immediately gone. And both supports for Rip Sub Tony immediately dying. So they are at a disadvantage already, as there are 3 on the point. And the numbers slowly decreasing.
They'll stand on that point as long as they can. Boozy trying to go for a mid-air hook onto Hershey, who's on the Pharah now. And Nyx going away from the Doomfist, going on to some Hanzo. Stan the man gets slapped with his golden bow and gets hooked in. Defensive Matrix doesn't quite reach him as Rock gets demaxed, anti-healed, and stuck at the same time. And it looks like, there you go, Resub Saturday coming out with an early win on a fight. Hopefully they can continue this momentum.
Boozy has his whole hog up, so if he can get a good position, he could possibly knock everyone off of the map. Although, NYX switching over to the McCree, getting 2 quick picks. Shift getting knocked off the map by the Primal Rage. Cat just kind of poking with his gun there, kind of slowly being toyed with, and eventually falling. And sorry,
really taking like names for himself here, coming in with I think a 4-piece in that last fight. A lot of clicking on heads there, stopping people in their tracks, and there's a good separation of focus there from Rip Sub Turney. Some DPS is sticking onto the supports in the way back line while the rest focus on the divey part of the competition. And Hershey gonna throw out his own rocket barrage, only to be dead by Corntato.
A very ineffective whole hog there to get eaten up by the defense matrix, and he is immediately deleted from the game temporarily.
Yeah, Rock trying his best to boost him off with that Diva movement. Distribute looking off to the side.
Thousand Deluxe almost getting across the map with 2 blinks, but getting deleted by Rock there.
Oh boy, in they come with a high Diva Bomb, getting Shift.
I'm surprised that actually hit.
Yeah, same. And they're coming actually in with a very offensive sound barrier to push them back into spawn here. Rip Sub Turney are trying to, well, they're sitting at the spawn. I'll just leave it at that. Oh, the
double high noon coming out. Oh.
Who's gonna win? Oh, well, they each get 1. Surround.
5v5. Cappuccino coming out with the trans, keep his teammates alive.
I mean, a sound barrier and self-destruct coming out here.
Oh, someone needs to touch.
But yeah, exactly. They need to get there. But oh, the boops! Each team.
It's just been a trade-off for both teams here.
Corntato getting up there into the rafters, keeping on to the point, keeping it alive for just a bit longer here. Rock does have self-destruct, which he'll place on point. Everyone going to be shifted around, but Warrior going to dive right into it. Actually, decides it's a good idea to de-mech himself. They're going to keep going with the nano boost.
And this looks like it is quickly changing into... And Ripsub Turning will take this map.
Yeah. With a fairly clean 2-0, or best of 3. They knew what they were doing. They're grouping up. And Stribby coming out to play the game there. Golden Tesla Cannon rolling in and rolling out. The very beginning of our control map here, actually.
Triple kill. Double kill.
Not bad at all.
Epic.
Much obliged.
Honestly, my opinion on not Ripsub Tony, but Resub Saturday's match, well, not match, team comp was they didn't have a shield. If they would have swapped off the Roadhog for the Winston, they may have had an advantage since they had something to block all the damage coming in.
Yeah, those Winston bubbles are really high value if you can place those well, especially for Diva Bombs or just really anything to allow movement for your team. But they opted to go for a lot of hole hogging, which the hooks were there. It's just a follow-up from the team. But nevertheless, Resub Saturday are out in our single elimination tourney. And Rip Sub tournaments are moving on to the round of 2 here. I don't know if there's any games finished in the bracket. Ooh, a few have finished. Oh, I will update that bracket right away here. And then you can see actually what's happening. But in the meantime, thank you very much, Blue, for casting with me for round 1 here.
Yeah, no problem. It was fun.
Yeah. And we're going to sub in our own caster here once we come back into round 2. So stay privy to this channel, boys, and we'll be right back.